Let's talk about Christian Zionism, the Rapture, and how this sick death cult has been fueling endless war in the Middle East. Because this isn't just about religion, it's about power, it's about control, and at its core, it's about the deliberate engineering of human suffering to bring about an apocalyptic fantasy. Christian Zionists don't give a fuck about Jews. That's the sickest part of this whole thing. They don't support Israel because they love the Jewish people. They support Israel because they need World War III to start, because they believe it's the final step before the return of Christ. And here's where the sick irony comes in. According to their prophecy, when the world ends, all Jews must either convert to Christianity or be exterminated, save for 144,000 witnesses who will serve Christ in the new kingdom. That's why they need Israel to be militarized, aggressive, and engaged in endless war. Because in their twisted vision, Israel is just a pawn in a divine chess game that ends with most Jews being wiped out anyway. This isn't a fringe belief. This is mainstream American evangelicalism, the moral majority, the Southern Baptists, the megachurch preachers. These people have massive influence over American politics. They control entire voting blocks. They pump billions of dollars into AIPAC and pro-Israel lobbies, and they actively push for more war in the Middle East. Their theology demands it. Their warped reading of Revelation tells them that global conflict, especially centered around Israel and Palestine, is a sign that Jesus is about to return. And for them, that means escalating every war possible. So, let's be clear. Christian Zionism isn't about protecting Jews. It's about guaranteeing their eventual genocide. And the fact that the Israeli government is willing to align with these lunatics just shows how deep the mutual exploitation goes. Netanyahu and the Zionists know that the Christian Zionists will throw billions at Israel so long as it keeps acting aggressively. So they play along, accepting the money and the weapons, knowing full well that these evangelicals see Israel as nothing more than a stepping stone to the apocalypse. But Christian Zionists aren't the only ones with an apocalyptic agenda. Enter the Technomonarchists, the real puppet masters. The Technomonarchists don't give a shit about the rapture, but they love Christian Zionists because they're so easy to manipulate. They see them as useful idiots, people who will cheer for war, vote for war, and die for war, all while thinking they're doing God's work. But the Technomonarchists have their own vision of Armageddon. They don't want literal nuclear annihilation. No, they want something far more insidious. A controlled collapse of the old order. Just enough chaos to give them the excuse to centralize power in their own hands. What does that mean? It means they want World War III, but not total destruction. They want a global crisis that will justify them seizing total control of economics, governance, and technology. They want to create a world where only they survive, a world where AI, surveillance, digital IDs, and mass militarization allow them to reign unchallenged. They look at Christian Zionists and see a perfect tool to bring about this engineered collapse. Christian Zionists will push for war in the Middle East, destabilizing the region, driving up oil prices, and forcing nations into deeper authoritarianism. This is exactly what the Technomonarchists want, because once the world is locked in crisis, they can offer the solution. A new world order built on AI control, technocratic governance, and total population management. Do you see the play here? Christian Zionists think they're fighting for Jesus, but they're actually pawns for a group of power-hungry, hyper-capitalist technocrats who want to create a neo-feudal future where only the richest and most powerful survive. So where does this leave us? We are now staring down the barrel of a war that could consume the world. The U.S. is fully committed to backing Israel's genocide in Gaza, and Trump's return to power in 2024 has only made it worse. Trump and his technomonarchist handlers know exactly what they're doing. They're egging on Israel, pouring billions into its war machine, while mocking Palestine's suffering. Trump's AI-generated videos about turning Gaza into a luxury resort aren't just sick jokes. They're statements of intent. The message is clear. They do not care how many Palestinians die. In fact, they want the war to escalate. They want Iran to retaliate. They want global markets to destabilize. They want the chaos because, in the end, they believe they will be the ones left standing. But let's be real. They aren't as smart as they think they are. The Christian Zionists think they can control the end times, but they're just tools. The Technomonarchists think they can control their global collapse, but their hubris will be their downfall. And Trump is just a carnival barker, too stupid to realize that he's just a useful idiot for both sides. The reality is, the Middle East is on the brink of destruction, and the world is watching in silence. There is no happy ending here unless we wake up. Christian Zionism is a death cult. Technomonarchists are the architects of digital feudalism. Trump is the gateway to catastrophe. And if we let them continue unchecked, we will not survive their vision of the future. Palestine's genocide isn't an accident. It's a prelude. It's a test run for the world they want to create. The question is, are we going to stop them? Because if we don't, the next war won't just be in Gaza. It will be everywhere.